Oh, I hear my
Hello,
name.
everybody.
There they
We
are.
we are live with James in Hong Kong again. Today's story is Derrick of Chun Development cancels the Hong Kong University funds over the Occupy. The Hong Kong University funds are the scholarship funds, and that's a huge amount of money that goes to fund the scholarships for students of Hong Kong University, and they cite that it's because the the students are radical and illegally occupying that. So, James, why don't we jump to you, and you can tell us a little bit more about this funding being canceled and what's going on there.
Right, so it seems like there's political pressures now set up on companies that are supporting the students. So this one company has decided to no longer fund a scholarship fund for HKU and Chinese university students. And as a result, it's got a lot of negative reaction. People think it's unfairly targeting the students this way by removing their funding for their education.
Yeah, I think it's funny that they use the words radical and illegal. I mean, radical. You see how radical these students are, sitting peacefully, making art to protest.
Radical artists.
Yes.
Radical peacemakers.
It's interesting how the mainstream portrays peaceful people these days. The radical people are the peaceful ones.
And a peaceful demonstration is illegal.
Yes. Because it's the criminals that write the laws. And they want to make everything sound bad for people that are good and want to do stuff nicely. In my opinions do not necessarily reflect those of the network.
Or anyone. And you can,
or anyone
we
else.
should tell everyone that they can have that say. If you want to get your opinion out there, bottom left-hand corner of this video, you can join us on Q&A.
Yeah, my opinions don't necessarily reflect my own sometimes.
And that's a perfectly healthy human being, right? That's a perfectly normal thing. We're all very contradictory at heart.
And it's perfectly acceptable to change your mind on a subject if you're presented new information.
Amen. See what I did there? The amen thing. Anyway.
Hallelujah. Yeah.
So as a result,
Southern Baptist.
The students have issued a response. Have you seen the response by the head of the students group?
Yes, I saw the response. I lost the link for it now. I would look that up quick. Why don't you tell us about the response, James?
So naturally, they're very disappointed with the company Chun, considering it's a billion-dollar company, and the scholarship fund was only 20,000 Hong Kong dollars, which is only about 2,500 US dollars. So it wasn't a large amount that they were contributing, but I think the main issue is it's not the amount, it's just the act, and then they set the precedence for others to follow, to pull funding and scholarships for the students.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting now to see if anybody else, any other companies or whatever, follows suit to cut their funding as well. And obviously, Beijing's influence involved on this. I put the link to the story of and the letter in the description below if you want to look that up.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it now. I've tweeted it out as well. Have you tweeted it out on WCN? If not, I'll do that now.
I don't have access to that.
You don't have the privileges? You don't have the rights?
No, I'm underprivileged. I can just make videos. And I accidentally broadcast myself sitting here smoking cigarettes for 22 minutes this morning. So some of you got to see
big tobacco. I love you. If anyone from Marlborough is watching this program, do get in touch for advertising opportunities.
Yeah.
Do you see this piece of art?
Yes, lovely.
Students being protected by an umbrella by adults, and there's police waiting for them on the other side with pepper spray.
Yeah. I think actually, you see, images of Ferguson and images that have been coming out from over the world recently come to mind. And yeah, there wasn't actually as much pepper spraying and tear gassing as there was in other regions of the world, James, because you guys somehow managed to just turn this into a carnival, really. It's a carnival. It's a festival. And the police have now kind of stepped back and they've kind of gone...
Right.
It's a protest turned into an art gallery, is what I said.
We're going to see a lot of furniture here today as well, because everyone's preparing for being here in the long haul. So there are beds, desks, tables that have been set up in Admiralty, here in Mongkok. It's really buzzing today, the atmosphere. There's a lot of people out. You can just hear the air, you can hear the sound. It's just a lot of energy is in the air here. I don't know if you can hear, there are like cheers and roars going on. There's just a real positive vibe all around.
Yes, I can. It's amazing.
Yeah, I was mentioning I was talking with a Bitcoin art gallery on Twitter about all the arts here, and unfortunately he said he hasn't been able to watch all the broadcasts because he's been too busy. But
Dustin should get involved. He should be helping. What are these?
Mini umbrellas have been hung.
Little origami ones. They're really cool. Yeah, just the vast amount of variance too, or the incredible creativity of the people there, and how they've made such beautiful art out of a lot of what would essentially be trash. Like those little origami umbrellas are just so cool.
So Mongkok, Occupy Mongkok is alive, really alive today. I've never seen it buzzing at this level. It must be at least 7-8 days since it's had this much energy here at Occupy Mongkok. It's amazing. It's this whole movement that's alive again, back from the dead.
Yeah, it really is.
I don't think it was ever dead. It just goes to sleep. But you've always got caretakers that are keeping it warm. They're always there, and you wouldn't want it to be energized all of the time, because if you did, you would just get attrition. Over time, people would just wear out and they just get bored of hearing it. But if it's staccato and it comes back in waves, I like that.
There's no negativity whatsoever. Everyone is fired up. So cancelling talks have really set this movement back to life by the government cancelling talks, and we saw the start of that yesterday, and it's just continued growing onto today. and I believe it'll peak tomorrow on Sunday, where even more people will come out. They're chanting, "Go back to Australia," which is a reference to CY Leung receiving the money from the Australian engineering firm. So the message here is, go back to Australia. We don't want you in Hong Kong. There's a real sense of optimism that this CY Leung is going to get impeached and forced out of office very soon. You can just feel the buzz. You can hear the energy. I mean, it feels like the protesters feel like they have a small victory. It's been a long time since I haven't been able to get anywhere near the center point. Normally it's very easy to access the center point, but today that looks almost impossible to do with this many people.
Apparently I have bad internet today.
You can see I'm nowhere near the center tent, and it's just packed with people. It's impossible for me to get anywhere near.
It's an amazing crowd.
Omar, in the Q&A, Omar is saying that we should help these students. And of course, we've already done a bit of a fundraiser from Reddit. And are there any other ways people can help?
So what we were thinking is maybe we could start a campaign online to help recover these lost scholarship funds. And that's something we could do and set up via Bitcoin. Maybe the second wave of this direct charity giving. So the first wave was through food and materials. The second wave could be through educational support.
Yeah, that could be another project that people want to donate to. That's something up. We can make it separate if we can figure out the best if you look into that.
So there's a troublemaker here. They're asking the troublemaker to leave.
No, we're losing James's audio again.
Well, there's a reason for that. Where's the troublemaker?
It's a little noisy here, so we're just going to move to the back and just show you how much this movement has grown in 48 hours. So people are sleeping on the beds. There's plenty of chairs, tables. There's these mini bunks, foldable beds you'll see everywhere with a, looks like an anarchist logo on there.
Mm.
The anarchy.
Excellent. Except for it's on a red flag. But close enough. We'll just look at it upside down and call it a voluntarist flag.
So there are many more tents out than previously. Before there might have been 5, 6 tents in Occupy Mongkok. Today you'll see 20 to 30 tents, at least. So as more and more furniture gets moved in, more tents are opened, people actually require more space. And as a result, less people looks like it's actually probably occupying much more space. Because before everyone would kind of sit in a tight circle, but now everyone's really more spread out with all the furniture. So it also helps the image of the movement look a lot bigger as well, I think. No, we're not at the beach. We're in the middle of Nathan Road. Very festive and very happy, very positive. Hi. Just noticed some familiar faces here. So just noticed some familiar faces. These are some volunteers we were with before at the Mongkok station. So they're out here camped out. Here's a restroom. This is what our makeshift toilet looks like. So when you're ready to go, you just kind of pull the zip.
That's handy.
It's an occupied bathroom. There's 2 set up here in the middle of the street.
It looks cleaner than any porta potties I've ever used.
This mobile toilet were bought because of Occupy Central, which was planned to be happen on October 1st, 2nd, and 3rd.
Oh, so these were actually pre-prepared for Occupy Central, and they've supplied these to us here.
Yep.
Ah, so did you guys catch that? So,
Yes.
Well, we know that we have experience that say in July 1st, 2nd, there were like 511 people being caught. And on that experience, the police moved caught those people immediately. They will use the blue white ribbon to bind them in an area, but they won't cause them to.
they won't let them go to the bathroom.
Exactly.
They'll barricade them in, right?
Yep.
So,
they may need food, they may need water, and they also need to go to
so this is why now there are bathrooms set up in the middle of the street in case they decide to barricade us in here.
Yes, a demonstration.
It's a demonstration.
That we have the plan to make the Occupy Central.
We're prepared.
Yep, well prepared.
Right, because I noticed here today there's a lot more structures, a lot more furniture. I mean, it looks a lot different from last week. Can you tell me why that is?
I think that on Friday, this Friday, Mrs. Lam refused to meet with the students, so people felt angry, and that's why, last night and tonight, there are more people come up on the street and sleep on the street.
And do you think this will continue into next week? The people will still stay strong?
We hope that it will continue along.
All right.
But we don't know. I mean, it's all that people keep come out voluntarily. Nobody, especially organizers.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay,
all right. So there we go. So we have an update there on why we have so many more of these organized structures. This was actually donated from Occupy Central. So they had actually bought these, and they were ready to be deployed for Occupy Central, but that movement never really, happened on its own, and it merged and became what it is now. And so now they're giving their resources to these other areas to share with them, and now they're being put up right now.
It's interesting just to see those tents, how tents were a real pain in the ass when I was growing up to put the sticks together and stuff, and now they have those fiberglass and carbon fiber rods in them to make them so they're so easy to set up with that flexible rod that a lot of the tents now, they just come and they're folded up and you just kind of throw them out and they pop open.
So last night we saw many volunteers making these origami mini yellow umbrellas, and what they've done, I guess this afternoon, is they've placed them all across Mongkok, hung them beautifully across the street signs.
You know what would be cool for they could do for a fundraiser is write their names or whatever on them and send them out around the world.
And how would they be able to send the funds to help the students?
Well, if the people that are making the origami umbrellas took like Bitcoin, people could send Bitcoin to their Bitcoin address and they could in return mail them a origami umbrella.
So do you guys remember the pig shrine? It's been upgraded significantly in the last 2 days. Before we saw folk in the street, right in this spot right here, and just a few people surrounding it. Now it's turned into this elaborate structure. So you've seen this being built up over the last 2-3 days, and we've actually been able to see the progression of it. It's quite impressive.
That is impressive.
Yeah, out of pallets.
It's just the resourcefulness and the creativity of this place. It's the fact that you can get this basic stuff, even just paper, and just turn it into something beautiful, just out of this kind of raw mineral, this resource.
Yeah, out of garbage.
Yeah. They're not creating weapons, they're not invading, they're not preemptively invading or coming up with fictitious terror threats from abroad. They're not splitting countries up into little city-states that can't protect themselves against uprisings.
Yeah, it's not this radical terrorist movement or anything. I mean, it's the exact opposite. I mean, they're creating new stuff, being peaceful, and use it. I mean, like I said, that's the ultimate in recycling, just making new stuff out of old rubbish useful.
And now it's become a tourist attraction. From that little thing that was, in the street, it's become a piece of art.
Yeah. They got enough umbrellas there now. They could make they could cover the entire city, never have to worry about getting wet again. Maybe we can send umbrellas to the next place that's expecting a hurricane.
Don't think an umbrella helps you in a hurricane.
Umbrella Relief Fund. Too bad we can't Send umbrellas over the internet. Is that just a mat that guy was laying on, or?
Yeah, it's normally something you bring on the beach.
Okay.
You lay it on top of the sand, but now we use it to...
Oh, it's a reflector.
Yes, with the reflector. So we actually had some good news yesterday. We have set up our volunteer station again here at Mongkok, which got destroyed last Friday. But yesterday we did set it up again after the government called off talks. So we do have more resources here now. And all the volunteers that I haven't seen in about a week since, you know, we got the attack, they've all come out as well. So everyone's back out. The movement's reset. And we're all staying here tonight. No one's going home.
Now, you were telling me before we went on the air that you were getting furniture and stuff because you're ready for the people long haul, so you're and stuff into the main tent.
Right, so we approached the new volunteer station that we set up yesterday. It's the red and white tent in front of us here. You can see some chairs and maybe a table on a trolley.
You know, I've noticed there hasn't been much of a police presence as you've been walking.
They are not on Nathan Road. They're on I Street.
James has scared them off.
I've definitely scared them off Nathan Road. They're no longer on Nathan Road. They're all hiding in the back on Argyle Street.
Oh, they're scared of his live stream. We're going to have to, James, at some point we're going to have to get you to talk a little bit about Fire Chat and maybe some of the people that have been using it. It's an open source distributed social network.
And we can ask some of the guys here who uses it and they can probably demonstrate it for you.
Because I would really like to know, one of the things I'm keen to do is help people like you adapt, because the next logical step for the authorities is to block or jam the telephone network so that you can't continue to live stream. And I'm just a bit worried. I think the only thing stopping them from doing it is the commercial interests of the telephone tariff. And I just want to preempt that a little bit by talking to people that have been using Fire Chat so that you can at least continue to record in such a way that that video stream is backed up somewhere locally so that we can get it out eventually. Even if we get interrupted, we can still get that out eventually.
Yeah, and Fire Chat, I believe, is something that the Open Garden people put out. Open Garden was a mesh networking thing for Android that some software people from San Francisco were working on, and I don't believe that that's still in, or they're still working on that, or they might be, but I know it doesn't work with the current version of Android. But yeah, the Fire Chat, I've heard a lot of, or there's been a lot of mainstream coverage about it, but I haven't tried it.
So Kaka's going to give us a demonstration on how Fire Chat works. Brilliant.
That's great.
Because I know Fire Chat does go over the, you can have it go over the internet.
So, Kaka, it just looks like a messaging.
Put it in the center of the screen so it focuses a bit better. Is it possible to move it over to the right? Yeah.
There, that's good.
Yeah.
So this is the app. Inside the app, you'll see three icons: contacts, chat, and settings. So we'll start in the first section, which is contacts. And here you can invite friends, start a secret chat, And let's go look at the broadcast list first. So this person's
What does the broadcast list thing? Is that send your contact list to everybody around you?
broadcast list is it just looks like everyone in your contacts, and says who would you like to message. And new secret chat. So Kafa, could you tell everyone how this works exactly? How did you add your friends and where do they come from?
Actually, you created a group, and then the group, you will get the message. Because I have not been using it now, I think that it's not safe because you get the message from Bluetooth, and then you will just pop up, keep popping up. If it is in a group, that you add the people to the group, and then you don't have to go onto internet, but you just use Bluetooth, and then you will receive those messages.
But what's not safe about it?
Because everyone can get those messages.
So it's public?
Yes.
So there's no privacy in the messages?
Yes.
Okay.
Even though in this situation in Hong Kong right now, the police next to me, if he opens that Bluetooth and he got the file check, he will get all the messages.
Okay, so that's the main concern.
Yes.
Why people don't use it is everyone can see your messages and read your messages.
Yeah, I was going to look in, or I just went to the Google Play Store on mine, and it says when you're going to install it, it says that it needs access to your identity, contacts and calendar, location, photo, media files, and Wi-Fi information.
It takes the original kind of the technology that was developed during World War One, was designed to allow people within a vicinity, a locality, to be able to communicate because you had the trenches. I believe I'm right. I haven't looked into it in a long time, and this is really just taking this technology back to its roots. But for me, there are too many missed opportunities with it, because surely you want better encryption in it with PGP, so that even if the messages are public, not everyone can read them unless they go to their intended recipients. Also, it'd be really nice to have it connect to the internet so that if stuff does need to be made public, like evidence of police brutality, that needs to be something that's built into it as well. It would be great if, for example, the video is being streamed to local peers that were backing up that video, so in the event that the camera is seized, we've still got the evidence.
Yeah, I think what you're talking about, Chris, is something that would be a chat program that could be made over the MaidSafe network, and that's available. And that's what I've been really looking forward to, is if we can get some developers to focus on this MaidSafe network and make something like Google Hangouts on MaidSafe, something like a chat program and an email client that's peer-to-peer, and if it was on MaidSafe type network, and if we would put mesh networking on top of that as well, that's kind of the thing I'm envisioning for the future of the internet.
So does it concern you guys that if you use fire chat, yes, you can get your messages across, but it can be read by all? Or do you just think even if you use the chat clients, they'll still find a way to read your messages anyway? So
like the police, you mean the police could use it as well?
Right.
Well, that's why this needs to be used with something like PGP, where you can only send those messages to people that can decrypt them, and then you simply share your PGP keys when you meet face to face.
So you
Yeah.
with encryption, that would be the
Yes, I love everyone has everything based security. It does have flaws going forward, but given the spontaneity and the contemporaneity of your information, as in it's only useful for a while, right? The police are going to get nothing from it by decrypting it a few months down the line. I would say that PGP is probably the best way to go, and it can't be, looking at how much effort they've already put into FireChat, can't be that much harder to put a bit of a layer of encryption on top.
right.
Well, they have the secret chat option in there.
Yeah. Just like a basic IM would be perfect. I mean, we have that on Blackberries already.
Well, they have that in FireChat.
Oh, they do? They have secret as well?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah,
fine.
it's like direct message on Twitter.
Yeah.
And the secret ones are encrypted.
Do you remember we bumped into this artist?
Yeah.
He's now in Bangkok today with another piece.
Wow.
Francesco, I believe.
Make sure we get a high resolution picture of that somewhere.
So today Francesco is here in Bangkok with another beautiful piece of art, and it is involving the crowd. So everyone's contributing as well in here to this artwork.
Oh, I just realized now, taking a look at that from a further back distance, that those are buildings on the wall.
What's interesting is what's happened here. There was actually a barricade which was put up by police. It said actually it was like police tape across here, and with the increase in the people, they no longer have their police tape going across here in blue. It's now totally open, the space.
And I haven't heard any more of your traffic lights making noise. Did they just turn them off?
Well, you're in the middle of the protest now. That's why it's not operating as a street, is it?
You know, the lights are on, but the sounds are off.
Huh. Interesting.
So you see the sandbox here?
Yeah.
Turned it right down to almost level 1. It's like they can control the volume.
Oh, so it's still there. So who's done that? The government?
I guess so. It's there, but it's so faint. It's not like the in Causeway Bay, where it's at full volume for the street. Here they've turned it right down. You have to get right up to it to hear it.
That's interesting. I'm going to timestamp that in the comments. That's interesting.
Oh, I wonder if they, well, all the traffic lights are centrally controlled, I would guess, at the city offices somewhere. They might have a volume control on it there. Is that a phone booth?
It's a phone booth, yes.
Boy, you don't see that many much anymore.
So these are almost extinct in Hong Kong as well. They're only in the major tourist districts like Mongkok and Tsim Sha Tsui.
Yeah, that's what people are going to wonder what that phone symbol means in the future, because phones just don't look like that anymore. That handset. And you can paint one of those boxes up like a Doctor Who police box. That's one thing I do like about the BBC is Doctor Who.
So I actually rewatched the broadcast the other day from the Pearl Report. That guy's speech in English was really powerful, wasn't it?
Which one?
Very British.
Yeah, proper.
Some people might accuse the old colony of coming back.
Yeah, he had like a Winston Churchill type of a speech. He's got that proper voice.
You can't take the colony out. Can't take the colonizers out of the colony.
Right, so I told
You help yourself, can you?
Oh, here we come. His favorite people.
well, no, they haven't gone. They've just backed off to this corner, which is what I mentioned earlier. So they're not staying where the people are in Nathan Road. They've let the people be, and they are just well back away. There's a whole gang of them, but they're just really, really backed off. You see the large separation between. They're letting the people be, let them do what they do. They couldn't, they don't really mingle in there. However, there are a lot of them outside, and that's a shift. That's a real change. But once upon a time, all these vehicles here, which are now plain government police vehicles, these would have been volunteer vans here at the start of the movement.
Is that a Hyundai?
It is a Hyundai, yes.
Okay.
And if you'd like to buy a Hyundai, well, Crypto Network is sponsored by Hyundai.
Well, I drive a Hyundai, and my wife has a Hyundai. I will endorse Hyundai. They make a damn good car. I've owned 3 of them.
Yeah, and my first car was a Hyundai too.
Well, make sure you tell Hyundai if you go and make a purchase where you heard it from, folks.
The Hyundai, both mine and my wife's car are Hyundai Sonatas, and they are 2002 models, and they run like a top. So they're 13-year-old cars, and they are very good. But I'd gladly take a Mercedes or anything else, too, if somebody wants to donate one.
So we've had Benny Blanco has suggested, I'll go to my screen, this article.
Benny Blanco?
Yeah, off of Twitter.
From the Bronx. That's from the movie from Carlito's Way.
Okay. Yeah, I don't get all these cultural references all the time. But yeah, he sent me this article from, actually all the way back in September, saying that FireChat prepares encryption feature as it drives Hong Kong protests. So looks like they do have some encryption in there. Or they will do. So I've just tweeted that out.
I really just enjoy watching their reactions, just looking back at me.
James' favourite pastime.
I mean, I'm just here smiling. Oh, there we go. That's for me. That's for me right there. Right for me. Because see, without that...
They're going to be wrapping you up in it soon.
I should thank them. I feel very honoured that they would actually cordon off the area as I arrive. I feel very privileged and thankful that they've recognized my contributions, and they're blocking. This guy's just standing blocking the view, but there you go. And
they're marking their territory the way
right,
dogs do.
They actually marked themselves in. If you take a look here.
Stop pissing up their tree, James. Don't piss up their tree. That's their territory.
That is their territory.
That's your territory. You stick to your own, we'll stick to our own. You just
they gotta make their border.
My line.
So as soon as I was like stood right there, they actually.
So you know, this is where we're comfortable with you being.
They're not taping. As soon as I stayed in that little area.
Uh-oh.
They like their borders, don't they? They got to put up a border.
They love their borders.
You see that? No, they're not putting it up anymore. But let me just stand back there. They might put it back up. This is quite funny. Oh, they're not going to play along. They're not playing along.
So
now they're just letting me pass now.
Don't bully the police, James. Leave them alone. Don't bully them. Oh, look at him.
Oh.
He looks sad.
He looks happy.
Oh man, no. This is funny.
Don't touch me, don't touch me, I will file a complaint against you.
We're now setting up a code 9 here.
Okay, where's the line?
Here.
You see, don't touch me.
I'm not going to touch
touch
you.
me.
I'm speaking to you.
Okay?
We are setting code 9. Please be corporate.
So I told you as soon as I come here,
Back up.
don't touch me, right? And as usual, see, I did come back here. They did cordon it off as soon as I did move here. You know, I told you that would happen. So as soon as I stood in the front, they kind of ignored this area, right? And then when I moved across there, you see them tape it up, and now they've barricaded themselves in. You know what? Let's do it this way. Let's switch the camera around.
What do they have back there that's so secret? What are they protecting?
I have no idea. They don't want me back there, though. They really don't want me back there. So, you know, they basically cordoned this area up as soon as I walked by. You know, they left it be, but as soon as I went over there, now that you see they've got their whole square taped up, and they just don't look happy at me at all.
Ask
I mean,
why they have a cordoned off.
I haven't a clue. This whole area, now they've cordoned themselves in, and you know, they've got their body language all stern now, looking this way. Now they're trying to ignore the camera.
Because their paradigm is all about drawing lines and marcating and saying this is this line, this is this line, you stay there, we'll stay here. It's because their poor little brains can't cope with complexity and fluidity and change. Their poor brains just can't handle a bit of mess every now and again, a little bit of chaos, a little bit of creativity. Stay here, you stay here, we'll stay there. Everyone will be happy. Otherwise it will all get...
Ask the supervisor there in the white shirt. Ask the white shirt cop why they have that area cordoned off.
These are the kids that were bullied at school, folks.
So why do you have this area cordoned off? What's the reason this area is cordoned off?
Look at his face.
What is the reason this area is cordoned off? Because it wasn't previously cordoned off. So why it's
Previously cordoned off. I'm telling you this.
Okay, then why...
You're just resetting on the code 9.
Okay, so apparently it was already cordoned off for operational purposes. And,
Operational.
you know, when I was there, it just happened to be open. They were just retaping, you know.
Right.
Yeah. It was just a coincidence that it was...
an invisible line. You were supposed to have seen it.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Operational purposes.
So we are live in Bangkok. It is Saturday evening, 11:55 p.m. So it's headed into Sunday soon in 5 minutes. And I don't think they're enjoying this live broadcast very much here.
We are.
Obviously, our audience is enjoying this, but I don't think the police are enjoying this.
Keep him on the screen. I want to take a picture of him.
You want to take a picture of him, okay? But he's been kind of nice, though, so we maybe shouldn't take a picture of him.
I wonder what this operation is that they're doing, that they have it cordoned off. They're all just standing there.
Nope, he's turned his back on me.
No.
Turned his back on me.
Oh, maybe he doesn't want to be.
It's operation standing still.
That's fair enough, though. If someone doesn't want to be on the internet, that's fair enough.
Right. No, they don't want. They know they don't want to be live on TV. They know that.
Oh, police with his phone. Is he on social networking? Ask him if he's on Twitter. Ask him if he's on Twitter.
Do you use Twitter, sir? Are you on Twitter? You can add me at PR Hacks. We're streaming live right now. How about Facebook? You can add me on Facebook too.
Facebook. They love Facebook because Zuckerberg.
Actually, Facebook is very popular here in Hong Kong. It's the #1 social media site. Twitter's actually not very popular. They use Facebook, and they actually have their own microblogging site in Hong Kong called Weibo, and that's that's basically replaced Twitter here in Hong Kong, and Twitter's never really caught on, except for the local media, because a lot of journalists internationally use Twitter, so local media are probably the main demographics that use the social platform.
Hey, I'll take a picture of him, hang on.
Alright, so he wants a picture of us as well? Alright, there we go. I smiled for him as well, by the way.
I got a picture of him taking a picture of us.
Now he's putting it into the facial recognition.
Yes, now going into the... Here it goes! It's going into the database!
Entering it into the social database.
They're all like, right, who is this guy? Let's pull up his file.
Yep, they can use some facial recognition software now and try and pull up my file.
Contact our friends at the NSA. Let's get a file on this guy. Who is this guy?
No, what network we're on.
He's a capitalist sympathizer.
It's a live show. Everyone's watching on the world right now, live, so we can
I
see
remember why you're saying that really loudly.
how childish Hong Kong police is, right? He comes up to me and takes a picture of a kid, tries to intimidate a journalist live. I mean, you can see how immaturely they behave. This is laughable and embarrassing for Hong Kong police. That officer would just come up to a journalist's face and take a picture like that. So, I mean, how immature their behavior is.
There's a big TV screen up on the building there. We need to get our broadcast put up there.
Yeah. He's joined now by probably a dozen others who are watching across from behind. And there's a big public gathering as well who are watching our show live as well. They've joined. So we do have quite a big audience here tonight.
What's that site that's been simulcasting our broadcast?
StreamUp, the activist network on StreamUp. They've also been simulcasting our live stream on their network as well. So we're on
currently you're in no man's land. Because if you turn around,
right,
you're like in the demilitarized zone. You're in the demilitarized zone.
Exactly. If that was South Korea, and this would be demilitarized zone in the middle.
You're shouting this out so they can hear you. If this was South Korea, as if they're North Korea, man, that's pretty antagonistic. Like you're being provocative, James, if I may say so. That, I mean, it's cool and everything. It's funny, but some people might take a dim view.
So, turn around.
You just compared them to North Korea, haven't you?
What do we have over here? Are them police too?
Yeah, these are plainclothes officers right here, but there's no cordon, so I guess I can get near them.
Of course, North Korea is allied with China.
Me. Oh, and it's back on me again.
Right. What are we doing for this show? What's the agenda? Because I'm just worried, like, if we keep antagonizing the police, like, I'm not sure what we're achieving by this. I mean,
yeah.
Aside from
I think our main story for today was about the funding for the scholarship hold.
Yeah. Let's talk about how we get these students help, because at the moment you're very valuable because you're bringing us these live streams, and I want to make sure that we do a good job of getting the message out to people. So how can we help these students with these scholarships, and perhaps not just financially, but also resource-wise for like with teaching skills? Perhaps if we get a list of the kind of subjects they want to learn at, we can actually contact teachers and lecturers across the world to see if they can do some kind of, I don't know, web streaming or some kind of advice or some mentoring or something like that.
So what we did see was university students teaching middle school students. So we've seen a lot of tutoring, impromptu kind of tutoring sessions and set areas for this. However, we haven't seen any kind of training or education for the college students, sacrificing for the middle school students here. So it would be nice maybe if professors came out and gave something in return to the university students.
I personally think universities and stuff are kind of out of date. There's so much learning that you can do autodidactic now just with the use of the internet on you can just go learn subjects on your own and get help and tutors over the internet. If you're interested, I think a lot of the companies now, especially entrepreneurs that are hiring people, they don't give a damn about a degree. I know several multimillionaires that they actually look down. They would prefer people that don't have a degree. They want somebody that knows how to code and knows how to do a job. They don't want somebody that has for 4 years and learned a bunch of book learning. They want somebody that knows how to actually do a job. I also think I have a vocational degree. I've always thought that vocational school is better too to learn an actual trade, but I would encourage the kids that maybe lost their scholarship funding to, especially look into coding.
So career advice, WCN.
Their coding is going to be right now. It's in such demand, and
it's more than that. It's going to be like reading and writing. If you can't do it, you'll be at a massive disadvantage.
And not only coding. I mean, you need the foundations behind that, the mathematics and stuff too, and the logic.
The logic and the discipline and the ability to think outside of the box as well with problem solving.
Right. It's not memorization skills that you get taught in school.
Yeah.
To be proactive.
You have to be able to think laterally as well as logically.
Right. So, I would really encourage kids to think about doing stuff like that. Work on things like, mesh networking, network engineering, and stuff like that is also needed. The certificates and stuff they have too. I was a Cisco certified network engineer, and that was complete bullshit. Being a certified Cisco network engineer did me absolutely no good.
So did you see the poster here? It's actually similar to that shrine that we saw. It's that Taoist god again. So this thing's really caught on. After someone built that shrine, people are now making artwork based on that shrine.
Huh. I can't believe how many of those umbrellas they made.
There are hundreds of these all around Mongkok today. It's really beautiful.
Well, is there anything else you really want to show us for today, James, or should we wrap this up? And
to show that the movement has actually come back.
I'll be right back, guys.
Right.
Say again, James, you were breaking up.
Oh, so I think it's a nice time to wrap up because we've actually really demonstrated that the movement has come back to life today, beginning yesterday, and it looks like people are prepared for the long term. They are here knowing this is not going to get resolved soon. You can clearly see the structures, the furniture that are being brought, and everyone's prepared to stay here now. And that's kind of been the chatter in the mainstream media as well, is that everyone's preparing for many, many, many nights, days, or weeks to occupy these zones until there's some progress and genuine talks towards universal suffrage.
Yeah, I think we've covered it well today, and again, we got to thank James. got to thank Sumitra for doing the time stamping on these videos. He's been going through and time stamping the videos so you can just click on the times, point in these videos. So if you want to go back and look at something later on, if you want to see these, because this is really more about documenting the history of this than anything else. Them are beautiful.
Origami mini umbrellas that are being prepared, and the string here. So they've all been attached to a long string, and I guess soon they're gonna put it across some of the street signs and hang them next to the yellow umbrellas. And I think what's nice about these are they're being hung nice and high, so that they're not as easy for people to come and destroy. Like before, when those thugs pulled off the posters off the walls, they were just within arm's distance, but these are a lot higher, right? So they're harder to get rid of, but they're really beautiful, and it's really made a difference in the atmosphere here today. Seeing all these mini umbrellas lined up everywhere.
Yeah, I really like them. Them are just really cool. So, yeah, if you have been enjoying these broadcasts and can support the show by giving us some money, I have some equipment and some software I'd like to get to bring better broadcasts that I would like to raise some money for. If you could donate to our Bitcoin addresses that are in the description down below. Each one is for each individual on the show, so we would really appreciate that. And I want to thank James for joining us and Chris for joining us. And we will be back if anything else exciting happens, or we will be back tomorrow with another update. Thank you for joining us on the World Crypto Network. Bye.
Bye.